It's the Beat Break Morning Show with Sean Garvey and the crew.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. I go by the name of Sean Garvey. Got my brother in crime, DJ Rollum.
Y'all.
What's going on, fam?
Man. It's all good. It's all good. All up in your neighborhood.
Yes, sir. Welcome back, man. All good in the neighborhood. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Always got a great show lined up for you. Make sure you follow us on all your social media at Beat Break Radio, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram at Podcast FM Now and Reach One Network Podcast. And we got a great show for you this morning. Make sure you check us out on beatbreakradiofm.com, simulcasting on Thinking Out Loud Network, thinkingoutloudnetwork.com. If you have not downloaded that app, you need to in your life. Go ahead and download the app from any app marketplace, including Google Play and Amazon. Go ahead and download the Podcast FM app to check out this show and all of the great shows that we have on the Podcast FM app. DJ Rollum, how has your week been?
Eventful. I'm just glad I'm getting gigs. Keep the numbers coming. That's what I like to hear, you know. And I love the way I get the gigs is from a previous client saying that another client that needs a DJ and I like what he did and need to get him. So I love that. Just keep it going and whatnot. That's all I basically need. And there's a possible opportunity to be a house DJ. And I'm like, I'm in the upper age. I don't need to be doing it every week, you know. So I'm trying to get some other DJs together so we can do every other week or something like that. I just want to be in rotation. I don't need to do it every week.
Yeah.
That's my thing. So
yeah, it's always great to get more and more gigs so you can get the money rolling in, especially when we are still in a pandemic. I know everybody has gotten vaccinated or are planning to get vaccinated, but I'm just so happy to see that people are getting gigs now. And everybody is going back out there vaccinated or taking care of themselves using alternative methods and getting paid again, man. Like, shout out to the people that are getting paid again.
Right.
Got to give a hand clap for that. Because I know that there are still people out there who are depending on those unemployment checks and are and refuse to go back to their 40-hour-a-week job.
Here's the thing. I got to say something on that.
Yeah.
I'm defending the people who actually need it. I'm not defending the fools that don't want to go back. I'm defending the people who actually...
I'm talking about the fools that don't want to go back.
The ones that don't want to go back, y'all just messed it up for everybody else that actually do need it.
Yeah.
Because if you are able to walk from your bedroom to a bathroom and have soap and have washcloth, have toothpaste and a toothbrush and a comb, you can get your behind up and go to work. I have to say in that order because some folks will still go to work without doing, you know, their proper thing they need to do.
Yeah.
Wash your ass. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, work doesn't require you to pick up the remote and turn on the TV.
Right.
That's not work. That's not a job.
Stop looking at all these repeats of all those shows and stuff all day long. Like, oh, okay, I just log in to whatever unemployment and I look, boom, here.
Because I would tell you
back to the show.
I will tell you something. I have been binge watching a lot of shows while I'm working. You know, I'm a multitasker. So when I'm not at my other job, I'm here working in the studio. And there were a few shows that I did binge watch a little bit on. I've been binge watching The Godfather of Harlem. I'm just now catching up on that. And I've also been watching a little bit of The Morning Show on Apple TV. Yes, that's right, folks. I do have a very unique taste when it comes to programming. You ever seen The Morning Show, DJ Roller?
I don't have time.
Not the Beat Break Morning Show.
No, I don't have the time to look at anything from basically from I would say 8 o'clock to about 6 o'clock Monday through Friday.
Right.
During that time frame. So if it varies on what's going on after 6, but nada.
Gotcha. Well, I just been taking advantage of this streaming thing. I've been taking a lot of advantage of that. Not just only here, but when I'm on the go.
Okay.
So, that's what it is. Oh, great news before we go any further, DJ Roller. I've been waiting for this moment, baby, and I finally got it. So you remember when we were discussing the life and legacy of DMX, God rest his soul, right? And I told you guys when AD was on the show with us, I told you that it was so hard for me to get the copy of DMX's first album on Def Jam, It's Dark and Hell is Hot. But guess what? Well, guess what, folks? Guess what? I finally got it, baby.
You finally got it. You finally got it. Now,
I finally got my printed copy of DMX's It's Dark and Hell is Hot.
Now, what I'm going to do, not anytime soon, maybe sometime later this year, probably, no promises, but sometime in the next few months or whatever, I'm going to post on DJ Roland Townsend and DJ Roland on IG and Twitter a picture of my actual album of DMX.
But you have a vinyl.
I have the vinyl.
You have the vinyl of It's Dark and Hell is Hot.
Yes.
Yep. See, that lets you know that DJ Roland is a real DJ. You hear the sound in the background? Somebody is video chatting me while I'm live on the air. Let's see who this is. Hold on one second. The Big Break Morning Show, you're live on the air. Hello? You're live on the air.
I hear a voice.
This is another person besides DJ Roland, because I got DJ Roland with me. You know this person, DJ Roland. You're actually going to be performing at her wedding next year.
Oh.
Yep. We got Courtney on the line.
Courtney.
Who is getting married next year.
February.
Black History
And I believe
Month.
she will be my last gig until I get married. Because I ain't going to have time.
There you go. What's going on, Courtney? Can you all hear her?
Barely. I knew I heard a woman's voice. That's all I heard.
Okay. But she asked, how are we doing? I'm doing just fine.
That's great.
You looking forward to your first marriage, Courtney?
First and only, I hope.
There's some innuendo there.
I am so ready. I am ready. Planning a wedding is very interesting. But things are coming along, coming together.
Okay. I don't know if you heard her, but maybe just a little bit. But she said that she's looking forward to the wedding and everything that comes along with it. So she's still in preparation mode because she has between now and February to get everything intact for the big day. Yep. Okay. Any shout outs? Any shout outs, Courtney?
Yeah, I want to shout out to my husband for being a man of man, hardworking, loving, caring, and I'm ready to spend the rest of my life.
Oh, that's so sweet. She's shouting out her soon-to-be husband, Jeremy, and she loves her back.
All right.
All right.
Black love in the house. Black love in the house.
Black love in the house 2021, 2022.
Yep.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Appreciate it, Courtney.
You're welcome.
Check back in with you later.
All right, later.
Later.
Nice surprise to come on the morning show.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. You never know what's going to happen on the morning show.
You got that right. You got that right.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so happy though. You know, you getting married, DJ Roland, my friend Courtney getting married. I'm not getting married. But not right now. Not right now.
Not right now.
But so
Maybe.
It's going to happen.
It takes time. It takes time to understand you're a forever partner, because it ain't just a future partner, it's a forever partner. And once you understand you're a forever partner, you know her and she knows you. Giving a quick example. When I'm really tired, she knows that I need to stop talking and don't try to explain anything. I know you're tired. Go and get home and whatnot. And if I know I'm by somewhere, like an area, I know I'm hungry and I'm about to get me something to eat, and I'm in that area. Like, I know what she wants without even asking her exactly what she wants on it. So that's when you know someone and whatnot. That's just a quick example and whatnot.
Oh, man, you got me thinking about my ex now. Dang.
Keep it futuristic. Stop thinking about what was. You want to know what is and what can I achieve. Yeah,
you're right. That's why I'm in therapy right now.
Yeah.
That's excellent. That's excellent.
Thank you. Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast, where we talk about everything. We put people on the spot and all that good stuff, ladies and gentlemen. We got a special guest on the morning show. By the way, we're going to introduce her in just a few moments. I think we're going to have more people on the morning show in just a few moments. And also later on in the podcast, we're going to talk about all things considered versus. Since everybody and their mama have been tuning in to Versus, I've seen a few episodes. DJ Roland also has. We're going to unpack and talk about all things considered versus. Who should be on the next Versus episode, orchestrated by Timberland and Swiss Beats. So we're going to talk about that. We also got news at the top of the hour with Michelle Dawes-Burt, the 411 Wire with Just a Touch of J. Also, fake news or not fake news, got a couple of news stories to go through later on in the podcast, find out if the news story is fake or not fake. You may be a racist and you don't even know it, by our very own Mr. Moody, Jeff Robinson, aka Mr. Moody. And DJ Roland Mix, the caffeine and energy drink mix. Speaking of verses, got a special treat for you later on the podcast. Make sure you follow us on all social media at Beat Break Radio, Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. We are also streaming live on YouTube. I told you guys we are doing a little bit of experimenting here, trying some new stuff out here in the WadeWorksStudios. All right, so we're going to switch up the beat just a little bit because we got a very, very special guest right here on the morning show, ladies and gentlemen. You know I'm an advocate when it comes to massage therapy. I have, yours truly, partake in plenty of massages. You know, I talked a little bit about that in previous podcast shows, DJ Roland. You remember the time where we had the massage therapist in the studio when we were over at GSTV?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. Good times. But this is a particular massage like no other. right?
Right.
And it helps with your mental as well, with your spiritual side, your emotional side, and we want to be able to provide a platform, if you will, to educate listeners about the art of mental massage. And here to talk about it right here on the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast, we have Miss Melinda Woods on the Beat Break Morning Show. Good morning, Melinda.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Grand Rising.
Grand Rising. Absolutely. Yeah.
I was telling you offline that you are glowing. You are just glowing, so magnificent. You told me you was just coming back from yoga, doing a little bit of yoga.
That's right. That's right. So, you know, when you think about what you need to relax your mind, there's I think a confluence, multiple different types of ways that you need to come at it. One of which is this piece of kind of mindfulness, meditation, and yoga. And so it was actually my birthday. I'm one of those June gems. A lot of us, right? Those June Gemini. And so I decided to do this yoga retreat, and it was actually kind of crazy, but in all of the craziness of bags not getting and all of that, it's actually a testament to what it means to have a grounded, balanced, and intentional mindset. Because normally I would have probably been really angry about my birthday trip, not having my bags, whatnot. And I wasn't. I was good. It was all good.
Absolutely. So let's dive into your background. Who is Melinda Woods?
Man, that's a heavy question. I am a Detroiter. I am a mother. I am a Black woman engineer from the hood.
Wait a minute. Say that again. Say that one more time.
I said I'm a Detroiter. That's a big part.
Uh-huh.
That's a big part of my identity. Being born and raised as a Detroiter, as a grandchild of folks who are from Selma and Birmingham, Alabama, right? So they came ready to participate, right, in the civil rights movements of the time. And so Detroit, of course, was known as like the folks who would burn shit down. I'm sorry if that's I'm not supposed to say that, but that is what
it's all good. It's all good. Shit.
Yeah. So we are known to be feisty and fiery, but very, very grounded, right? And so I say that very proudly as a Detroiter. I now live in DC though, and I am an electrical engineer, and I also am an MBA. And so for a long time over the years, I've changed careers as a semiconductor designer and marketer to government work, intelligence, doing all the things you read and watch on TV as a civilian, working with the military, working with those guys that are known as the tip of the spear, deploying to war zones, working on kill capture missions, and then doing policy. So very much involved with some of the things maybe you might touch on. I mean, a lot of the things that we are talking about this day and age, whether it be, things like the Capitol insurrection or police laws related to police or the Asian hate crime, whatever it is, right? Pretty steeped in legislation and the way that it happens. I largely sit on the side of Black technology, but in my spare time, becoming more of my primary time, I am a fierce advocate for mental wellness. I am a fierce advocate for women who are trying to juggle a whole lot of things and who at the end of the day go home and are burnt out and they're done and they're depleted. But to the world, right, they look great until they break. And so mental massage is really about taking the time to be well before you break. It is about your mindset being such that you are creating an environment that allows you to be well. It is about self-care. It is about self-indulgence, self-love.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. So I have been on this mental health journey. I'm glad that you took time out of your busy schedule to be with us. I've been on this journey of mental health for several months after my last relationship. Mm-hmm. And the mental massage never came across my mind. You know, I was told to go to therapy, which I have, speak to someone, talk to someone about my situation, my life story, X, Y, and Z. And the mental massage just never really came to my mind until my friend Shanta brought it to my attention. And so how effective is mental massage to people who are dealing with mental health? We started to hear more and more by the day about people experiencing a form of mental health or PTSD, if you will. So how effective is mental massage for people who are dealing with mental health, PTSD, and other social ills?
Yeah, so they work hand in hand. It would be like saying, how effective is eating a vegetarian vegan diet if you are dealing with a chronic health issue like diabetes, right? So it's like that, right? They're complementary and needed. Now, in some cases, right, there are people who might believe that your homeopathic kind of holistic lifestyle would even also cure you, and you may not need some medical intervention that others might offer you in cases like diabetes. I would submit that there are probably people who believe, and I argue, that you're less likely to need the medical interventions if you're talking about anxiety, stress, kind of just feelings of overwhelm that are born out of literally your environment, things you can control, not just, I feel this no matter what my environment is. Things that are born out of, I got into the situation, like you just said, something happened and I got into the situation. Things that are born out of that, I argue you can probably get in front of and have preventative care with self-care, self-love, self-indulgence, and these type services. So even if you are in therapy, you would, I think, still want to do this. So I actually see a therapist as well. And guess what my therapist tells me to do?
Yeah.
He tells me to go do self-care.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Let me get this right. You said your therapist tells you to do self-care?
Yeah.
I hear that term a lot.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I mean, not to get into kind of, some of the different issues, right, that a person might have. But one of the things that my personality type, which is why mental massage exists, right, a type A, very highly driven, kind of person, high productivity, everywhere doing everything. I am that type of mother as well. My son will tell you I run him ragged at 10. Right. He plays 5 instruments, every sport. He golfs. What were we just doing? I'm like, oh, you do this well, too. Right. He ice skates. He rollerblades. What were we just doing? And I'm like, oh, you're pretty good at this. He rides horses and he has an autism diagnosis. He speaks, a public speaker. Right. So just as avid as I am in my career, I'm as a mother. So that doesn't leave a lot for myself. I've come to understand where even some of that, right, comes from. And talking to my therapist. And so the first medicine was to take time for yourself, right? Take time for yourself. Figure out how to do it, learn how to do it, learn how to prioritize yourself before you ever expect or ask anyone to prioritize you. And that may not sound like it's the right way to be, or it may sound selfish, but in some instances, like mine, it is actually a part of therapy.
Everybody's different. I have to kind of piggyback on it. Everybody's different. You can't treat every patient the same. Even when they have diabetes, you can't treat all diabetes patients the same. So I definitely understand where you're coming from with that. And that's a good point to actually have, because Sean Garvey definitely knows how I am on a daily basis. And I know how he is. So definitely got to have that moment to yourself to do what you need to do and things that you would like to do. So if it's in your realm to do it, make time to do it, and don't over exaggerate yourself to I gotta be this robot, get up in the morning, fix breakfast and go to work and check on my child and maybe look at a TV show, maybe, and then go to bed and do the whole thing all over again. No, it can't be like that. No, we're not in that type of world. This is basically not our parents, like in the 80s and 70s and 80s. And that's what we basically saw, is them getting us up to go to school, and we see them go to work, and we go to school, and we come home and play, and they may be at home, or they may be on their way home and got to fix dinner and all that. No, we ain't not in those stages anymore. Those days are gone.
Right. Yeah, baby boomer. Those are the baby boomers, right? And then when it was us, I don't know. I'm assuming you guys are kind of in the same era as me, Gen X, right? These Gen Yers and these millennials and Gen Zs and all this stuff, right? Just different things. I would argue, though, and I've had a lot of conversation around this since I launched Mental Massage, that with a lot of things you just described have gotten even more intense and even more hard to carry for women. Because back in those days, there were more, at least couples, if not marriages, right? And now you have women doing all of that house stuff and doing it at work, right? So that's where, I've had a lot of conversations with men about men needing these services, Sean Garvey.
Right.
But I would argue, and I agree, because I think everybody does, right? So when I introduce this concept, folks talk to me about children, like troubled youth. They talk to me about hospice workers. They talk to me about veterans. And one of the things, again, that's near and dear to my heart is caretakers of children, or even elderly with special needs, because there is a type of stress. There's an article that I read early on in a military article, that the stress of a parent of a child with special needs is that of a combat veteran. It's like PTSD of that. It's just really that intense, right? And so I understand and agree that all communities and all kind of target audiences would benefit from this. I am particularly interested right now in women. I have a lot of people talking about what men need, and I agree wholeheartedly. That's why I did applaud you when you mentioned therapy, because I think in particular in our community, right, there is so much work we need to do. And I'm so happy to hear you gentlemen talking about folks still getting married, because it's hard up here in this DMV on these streets. This is the singlest most city. And at the end of the day, we absolutely must have our families, right, in order for us to build, to do anything of significance, right, and of substance.
Yeah, so I talk to people. Sorry not to put you off. Excuse me, but I talk to people, and I tell them that everybody needs therapy, right? So, DJ Roland, has there ever been a time where you had a conversation with somebody and you tell them, "Hey, you need therapy, bro," or "You need therapy, sis"?
Actually, I have a friend that actually listens to our show, and I think she's been listening to at least a year or so or more, and we go back and forth. She's an awesome person. She got 2 girls, and she has a lot to deal with by herself. When I say by herself, she has absolutely no help from the father. Her mother passed. Her grandmother's not here either as well, and her family basically, he's throwing her under the road. Only calls her when it's time to celebrate somebody's accomplishment, like graduation or whatever. And one of the times that she did do that, it was a little over a year ago. I know that for a fact. I think it was sometime in 2019. She went and all they did was argue or something like that. And I'm like, so it's always her and her girls. And she does her best, and she even gives me advice on stuff, and she, takes her time out to give out advice. And that's what I do too. I got a lot on my plate. I deal with, I'm a caretaker for my own mother and everything. And my brother does help from what he can and whatnot, but it's basically me doing it. Now, does she have family here to help? Yeah, but it's not like they will take over. Like, all right, you go ahead and rest, and we got this. So no. So it's a trip. It's as long as you talk to somebody who is about something, because you just can't talk to anybody, because there's a lot of folks out there that think their problems are bigger. They're the biggest problems out there and whatnot. Like, help me and what. I'm like, okay, everyone got problems. I'm sorry and whatnot. We all have been affected by the pandemic and everything, but don't. My goal is always to pass on positivity. You know, turn a negative to a positive. That's been my motto for I don't know how many years. I think since I separated from my son's mother. You know, that's what I live by. And as long as you on the right path to say and do what's right and try to keep positive and whatnot, then that's how it works. That's how I see it and whatnot. And I haven't really talked to a licensed therapist myself, but I do have someone that I do know who is a therapist, but it doesn't deal with my type of issues, but she does give me a lot of good advice to try this and try that and everything. So I get around, me being a DJ and stuff. So I do find out who can do this and do that and whatnot, but I don't bottle stuff in like I used to. I definitely don't do that anymore.
Well, Sean, can I just give a more direct description of what mental massage is?
Sure.
So DJ Rollum, sounds like your friend, maybe even you, right? But not in this version because it's for women right now. Could benefit from these services. So mental massage was born when I was sitting in the bed, very overwhelmed, needing to write a paper, needing to fix food for my son, needing to do stuff at my job. And I was just like, I need a mental massage, right? So physically, yes, I need a massage, but it's really overwhelm. The overwhelm is really in my mind, right? And so I was born, and I said, what do I need? Like, what I need is all the different modalities. And what I needed, how I need it, rather, is I need it done for me. Like, I don't need it to take any more of my time designing it, the program, finding the right person. That is just makes me want to run out the door, right? And so mental massage was born, and it was immediately a hit and won, entrepreneurial competitions at the UVA. So what mental massage is a service, a wellness service, mental wellness service for women in leadership. So women leading businesses, organizations, and what I call intense households. And what it consists of are providers in different modalities, mind, body, spirit, bringing services to the busy lady at her convenience, customized in a way that she can kind of fit it in. And those modalities that I've started with, and I have a plan to add multiple more, are the first category of services are self-care, advocacy. And so what that looks like is it could be journaling, it could be dream work, it could be a lot of manifestation work, because that's how you change your mindset. It could be therapy, traditional therapy. I do have traditional licensed therapists there. A lot of kind of, again, law of attraction type work there. And so poetry, there's life alignment.
Hey, that's up my alley.
Oh yeah, and Renee is dope. She's worked with Les Brown and Deepak Chopra. Like, she's dope. She has all these books and she's dope. She has music. She's dope doing that work. Her program is amazing. So that's self-care. Then the second class of services is yoga, meditation, mindfulness. So that could be breath work again. That could be meditation practices. Definitely could be traditional yoga. And different types of providers. So they have different specialties. And then the third category of services is nutrition and health wellness. So that's a lot of kind of meal planning, vegan cooking classes, acupuncture, infrared sauna. Now, when I did this originally, I definitely was targeting women, but I wasn't intending it to be so overwhelming and frankly compelling an offering with Black women. So these offerings, I mean, brick and mortar and otherwise, are so far all Black women doing these services. It's amazing. So it is to say that when you combine all those types of services in kind of bite-sized chunks, so it's not like an hour, the same time, every time, oh, I can't do it, I can't make it. When it's convenient, 30, 40 minutes, multiple services. Right now, the pilot that we're running is 8 sessions per month. So it's kind of 3 self-care, 3 yoga, and 2 in the wellness space that you get. And you combine all those, you're really kind of, the mindset piece is going to change. And so the science behind that has a lot to do with what does it take to change an adult's behavior? How many times you need to hear something? How many different ways that you need to hear it? And so very compelling.
Yeah. And when you break down those elements as it pertains to therapy, as well as mental massage, those are, to me, attributes of living a healthy and long-lasting life. And what I notice about me, like when it comes to exercising and the change of what I eat and change of my diet, and also not only that, but what I listen to, whether it's music or what I watch or what I listen to in the car, those are things that are also a part of self-care. Exercising the mind by listening to a platform full of information and watching what you eat and cutting out some of the bad stuff in your system. The classic saying, you are what you eat. I realized that in the past, there were certain things that I ate that were not good for me and infected my mindset. I would be all cranky and everything, even especially after I eat certain foods, right? And I would be cranky or what have you, or fatigued, because there are foods out there that will cause you to sleep really, really quick. And I had to look at what I'm putting in my system. I no longer eat certain types of meat. I back in the day, it was all pork chops and hamburgers and bacon and things of that sort. But I cut all of those out years later, or years early, I should say. And then also what I listened to, I had to change up what I was listening to and what I'm watching on TV and stuff like that, because that can also affect your mental state of mind. It's like a person watching a lot of reality TV, and you end up becoming those people that you see on TV. You always want to start drama and everything. I just think we live in a society where we are programmed to consume a lot of this junk, right? And it gets into our system and it affects us emotionally, spiritually, even financially as well. Let's talk about finance, because that's also a part of our behavioral issues. When it comes to how we conduct ourselves on a daily basis. Let's talk about that for a moment. For those who are just tuning in, we're talking about massage therapy, mental massage, actually, with Melinda Woods. We're going to be joined by a few other people later on in the podcast, so just stick around and tune in for that. But Melinda Woods, let's talk about the financial aspect of mental massage before we actually go into what you and the other people behind mental massage are offering to people. Let's talk about the financial. How does that play a role in people's lives when it comes to the economic side of things? We're coming out of this COVID-19 pandemic. A lot of people lost jobs, became unemployed, having to go find work. And that can take a toll on your mental state as well as your pocketbooks.
Absolutely. I mean, we all know kind of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? So at the end of the day, if you cannot eat, you cannot focus on anything else, right? And so ironically, it's funny you bring this up, because one of the things that I'm focused on right now is getting grant money to bring these types of services, which are very expensive, right? So we have a couple of different things happening in our community, right? So you have the mindset around therapy, right? That I think we're kind of evolving through, where, before we just we as a people didn't have people who cared, had very good reason to lack trust, right? We didn't tell people stuff. And then there is also kind of a concept of, get everything from your minister at your church, right? Like, don't be trying to talk to other people. So you have those things that affect mindset. But then there is a very real barrier, financial barrier, to be able to get to these services, right? And so a therapist is easily $200 an hour. And in general, folks tend to, and I've done this research as well, they tend to only seek therapy through things like their employment assistance programs, or EAP type programs, and maybe a little bit of grief counseling, because typically that comes through, insurance, life insurance. But otherwise, it's just it's not very accessible. And so the finances are absolutely a barrier to being able to get the help you need, when the lack of finances are the things that are causing you to really need these services. That is an absolute real kind of tension.
I want to ask this about this. I'm in the medical field, mm-hmm. and what I've found out from in the past about 4 or 5 years, that they have most predominant insurances like United Healthcare, Aetna, Blue Cross Blue Shield. They are actually putting a part of behavior on their policies and whatnot. The thing about with the behavior part, excluding, separated from medical, is that they are having behavior. And the thing about it is, what part of the behavior is available depending on the policy. If you have a HMO or PPO, POS and whatnot, it depends on your insurance. And it's out there for the insured. Even if you have the Affordable Health Care Act, you still have it. It's just, I know it's just so minimal. Do you think with what you can do or have services with, would that be covered under the behavioral part of most insurances? Do you think?
Yeah. So really simple answer, right? So I don't work in the medical field, but I have a lot of friends who do. And so the licensing process for a therapist is going to include whether or not they are going to be covered under a particular medical insurance, right? And so that piece we haven't cracked yet, but I actually do plan to add to the platform actual medical therapy, right? So psychologists and psychiatrists. That's just going to come afterwards. So I can't tell you for the newest things that are covered if it would be included. I would expect that the licensed therapists that are operating within their certifications and their license would be able to get payment by way of insurance. Okay. So the ideal, though, is that things like FSA that pay for massages, as we were talking about massages, I had Massage Envy for many, many years before they added that to the list of things you can get get reimbursed through your flexible spending. So, pre-tax dollars type thing. I definitely think that would apply to most of these services. And so we'll continue to make that be a focus, right, to extend the services. And a part of it, again, is how do you pay? Because this is intended to be individualized, right? So even on a group level, a lot of times it can still be hard to make financially viable, right, for a person. But for individual services and, very regular, how do you make that affordable? I am seeing, and I work in federal government and I work in acquisition. And so I know that it's our time, actually. There's plenty of money to go out here and build the model. That's what I do. I go and get amazing providers to do what they do. And then I go and be amazing at building a sustainable, viable business model that can then be extended to men and children and veterans like we're talking about. And so that business model will probably need to include federal and or corporate private dollars to subsidize this, because in order to have the best therapists and ones that you don't have to worry about, because that's a big part of it too. Like we don't talk a lot about that, right? You go to a therapist and it's just not a good match. Like most people I know have that going on too, right? Like, okay, you don't really feel me because you don't come from the space I come from in any way, shape or form kind of thing. Like I've heard that. It might be, whatever, right? African-American man talking to a little white lady or something, it can be very like and maybe that works great, but oftentimes it doesn't, right? And so that's the other piece that we do in mental massage is we really spend some time with the client and we know our providers and we build a provider list that is very, very expansive and kind of diverse. And we do a very good job of doing that matching early on. And then allow for to change, right? Because I might not have gotten it all right, or your life might change. Like the whole premise is we are growing, evolving beings, right? And so it's okay. Your schedule might change. It will change. As a woman with children and careers and business, whatever, it will change. So to ask someone to be You know, the same all the time is this unfair. Just adds another level of stress. We want to be able to evolve with folks, and so that there's a piece. There's definitely a financial barrier to these type services, and historically, particularly in our community, we have not necessarily had kind of that mindset, nor that those dollars kind of sitting around for it. If insurance wasn't covering it, or you couldn't navigate kind of the system to figure out to get to the right one and figure out how to get it done.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's good to hear. Once again, mental massage, or I should say mental massage wellness, a very important initiative. And joining with us right here on the Beat Break Morning Show, great segue. We have, once again, back in studio, Shanta Hayes, or SL Hayes, right here on the Beat Break Morning Show to talk more about mental massage wellness with Melinda Woods. Good to see you again, Shanta.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Glad to be back.
Indeed. Absolutely. And we are talking about, all things considered, mental massage. We're talking about the spiritual aspect. We're talking about the economic aspect. Two different things. Various things, I should say. And so let's go a little bit more into mental massage wellness. From my understanding, it is a combination of counseling, mindfulness, nutrition. We also talked about the nutrition aspect of mental health. And so you all offer various things to clients and to people looking to join the initiative. Talk to us more about that, Shanta.
So absolutely, mental massage is Melinda's baby, and I'm very happy to be partnered with her in this endeavor because it helps me to get out my message about self-care, because we also talk about self-care on the platform. I'm a self-care coach. Reason I'm a little tardy to the party is because I sleep. And one of the things that I talk to clients about is sleep hygiene, right? My sleep hygiene was a little off this week because I was on vacay and I was, eating and doing all kinds of things that you might do on vacation. But that was part of my self-care. That was what I needed to reset and recharge so I could get back and do the things that I do for other people to allow them to live their best lives, right?
Absolutely.
So what I love so much about mental massage is that the fact that we have all these women coming together, showcasing their talents for how to care for themselves and one another so that we can all be our best versions of ourselves and have more to give to the community, right? That's huge. And, like I said, Melinda has birthed this beautiful thing that I think is just so awesome because individually, we do great. Collectively, oh my goodness. Like, so excited about it. Just over the moon.
It's a team effort.
Absolutely.
Team effort.
I was inspired by XL's product. All right. And so again, it is just like an amazing kind of amalgamation of all these talents, right? Coming together for a single purpose.
Love it. Love it. I'm looking at the flyer right now. You are encouraging people to join. It's summertime, ladies and gentlemen. It's summertime. Like you said, Shanta, you just came back on vacation. And if you are planning to do a getaway anytime soon, or when you come back from vacay and you happen to find yourself back into the grind mode of things, this is a initiative to take heed into. You all offer various things, 2 monthly self-care guidance sessions, 1 to 40-minute comprehensive consultation, 2 monthly yoga. We were just talking about a little bit about yoga just a few moments ago, meditation or mindfulness offerings. And you all offer just pretty much a plethora of different things. So what would you say would be the end game? This question is for you, either for Shanta or for you, Melinda. What is the end game for this initiative? What do you want people to get out of this initiative when they come and be a part of this wonderful platform.
Absolutely. I'd like to give mental massage view, and then I'd love for Shanta to speak as a provider, because that's exactly what we're doing on the platform. It's kind of double fold, and it's really serving those purposes, which are amazing. So mental massage, the pilot program right now is very clearly going to be measured. The metrics are related to the increase in your self-care practice, right? And so there is an assessment done in the beginning that talks about what are the types of things you do to relax. What do you consider to be your self-care practices? What types of issues in your life are you dealing with? And so over time, we will assess kind of how are these services, how are they being effective for you addressing those type issues and increasing your self-care practice. Over time, I expect, like I mentioned before, to build in infrastructure that allows for businesses to pay for the women in their company to have these services very regularly, that allow for insurances, DJ Rollum, to pay for people who don't understand how to navigate this system. It's already packaged for you, already matched for you. It's a part of what we do. And we do provide an accountability partner, which is another big part of why people stop doing stuff. Everybody knows that, right? From working out with a personal trainer. What is really the personal trainer helpful for? Accountability, right? Just to make sure you stay in there and do it. It's no different here. And so the idea is to have those services be able to be paid for, provided by organizations like, again, corporate America, government, and insurance services, and then also allow for private pay for people who may want to do it that way. And for the providers, I think there are also various benefits to what they're doing in their businesses. So Shanta, please.
So for me, my end game is to help people recognize the value of self, right? Very often we are living and we're just being, we're existing. We're not actually enjoying life, right? We're here, we're gonna make this money, we're gonna pay these bills. Maybe we're gonna go on vacation. Hopefully we relax while we're there.
Right.
Hopefully. But then we come back and, like you said, we get back on that grind, right? I think we have a higher purpose, and our purpose is not just to be a cog in a system. And when we recognize the value and worth of self, and when we truly care for self-care, because that's what I'm here for, then we live a better quality of life. So I hope to have the platform of self-care to be elevated to a point where people recognize this is my life. You know, without this, my life is less, because I'm not experiencing the full flavor of it. I'm not savoring the things. I'm not enjoying the moments. I'm not taking that time to rest and see the clouds and, you know, see the trees and enjoy the beauty of, you know, I want people to really experience that and have it be a part of their routine, everyday lives.
Right.
That's my aim.
I got to say something, and I got to give kudos to Shanta, because I remember when I was on vacay, I was in Blue Ridge, and Shanta remembers the story. I was chilling, relaxing on vacay, and I slipped up where I was talking about business for a moment, and Shanta had to check me. She said, "Sean, you should not be talking about business right now. This is your vacation. This is your moment. Leave that at the door." And I thought that was very important to acknowledge that, because some people, they tend to take their business to vacation or take their work to their vacation, and that can affect themselves or the people that are surrounded by them. Because vacation means that you are getting away from the hustle and the bustle, and you're doing some reflection time. You reflecting and you reevaluating things in your life, people that you are around, and goals and just different things, and working on a better version of you. And I think that's also very important to talk to clients about that. I know you all come across clients that tend to just talk about business, job all the time. I mean, look, I get it. We're in a different world right now where people are working 3 to 4 jobs. People are working 80 hours a week. I can find myself being a workaholic at times, but these months, these moments that I found myself in, I had to really like reevaluate how I tend to go about things in my professional world. You and I know, DJ Roller, that this business that we are in, this industry, is a 24/7 business. And you see so many people. You see so many people in the industry that are now coming out saying, hey, I need help. I'm going through issues with my mental state. And a platform like the Mental Massage Wellness can help people, whether you are already there in your life, whether you are already established, or you are working towards something. It doesn't discriminate anybody. It's not limited to just one person or to a particular person with a certain type of lifestyle, but it's for everybody. No matter what your status is, your background, it's something for everybody that are dealing with it, especially people in the industry. I know you were about to say something, DJ Roland.
Man, the person I'm thinking about who really needs it, he got help, but it's like, is he using the help that is he supposed to get?
Can we talk about somebody else other than Kanye and DJ Roland?
I mean, he's just a perfect example of that needs this help on a consistent basis. Mm-hmm. And he's a great artist. He is a great artist. He has a great mind. It's just that whatever is going on, and it really, to me, in just my opinion, some people agree, some people don't. Since his mother passed, that's when it went downhill with his mindset. It's not just the creativity and the music, it's just his mindset. And he did try to get help, but my thing is this, for you two professionals of being in that, he's not using it. He's not using what he's been told to do and teach himself how to do it. Because with your what you're promoting, you have to practice it.
That's right.
Yes, you have to practice it. And if you don't practice it, then it's like a waste of time of you actually going through it. You have to work on it to get better.
Yeah.
That's just how I see it.
Okay. So like mental health, mental wellness, right? It's a muscle. It's just like physical health. If you don't work out, if you don't eat right, if you don't get enough sleep, drink your water, it's like, okay, and what did I do all that for? So same thing when mental wellness comes into mind, if we aren't using the tools that we're given or that we're supposed to be developing and implementing, then it's not going to work, right? Because you just bought a book and put it on the shelf.
Right.
That's what you did.
Yeah.
You know, that's a great workout. It's pinned to the refrigerator. Looks great. See it all the time, but I ain't done nothing with it.
Right.
And then, like, you know, we have to really, like Melinda said, accountability is so important. Even with your mental wellness, accountability is important, which is why one of the pillars of self-care that I teach is maintaining relationships. And one of Kanye's predominant relationships was with his mother. And that was, that was a tough loss for him. Like, that was a tough loss. But when the people that could hold you accountable don't know how to do that, or the people that are supposed to be holding you accountable are there and not necessarily doing so, you might need to find another group of people to hold you accountable, right?
Oh, y'all.
Yeah.
Just think about it. What if the pharmacist called you and told you it's time to come pick up your medicine? What if the doctor called? Even your therapist don't call you. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's just not work, right? So that's where we totally changed the game, right? Like that's what accountability really is. It's easy to be accountable when you're already coming. It's hard. You got to go find that person and drag them out the bed, right? You got to say, you know what? I know your schedule changed, but you know what? We can still figure out how to make it work. That piece is how, to me, you get over the hump. And I know because I'm speaking personal, right? Not personal experience.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. I believe every therapist needs a therapist. So
right. Like a lawyer needs a lawyer. Like a doctor needs a doctor. Yeah.
But also be mindful. And I think we've talked about this on the show before, Sean. Fit is important. Like maybe that first one that just wasn't the right fit. Like they got up, not over the thighs, you couldn't zip them up, like I got it, you know. But you don't like walk out the store without getting pants because that first pair didn't fit. Mm-hmm. Therapy is somewhat the same way, right? Personalities aren't going to mesh 100% of the time. We have to still be able to say, you know what, this is something I need. I came here for a reason. Let me try to find something that fits. Mm-hmm. And again, your accountability partners will be like, you know what, that pair didn't fit. That's okay. Mm-hmm. Yo, I know somebody, they went to, you know what I'm saying? Resources are not just, you know, coming from your doctors. You know, you can get a referral from a friend. So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And that's why I said earlier, Shanta had to check me while I was on vacay. And looking back at it now, Shanta is one of my, if not my only accountability partner. You know, I would say one of you all, because DJ Rollum is also my accountability partner, as well as Sharia and everybody else that's on the platform. But I think that's a very important thing as well, too. And not to talk too much about it on the air, but I'm actually talking with someone about helping them with their business, because they also specialize in fitness and exercising, et cetera, et cetera. I think that's very important to also raise awareness about and providing a platform to people who are in that particular profession. I told the gentleman, I was like, hey, look, people need access to gyms. People need access to fitness, to people need to exercise and stuff. Like in this country, in America alone, we are still the #1 country in obesity. We are still #1. Like, what is going on, people? And that also affects the mental state of things. You know, I'm a firm believer that almost everything in life is mental. And we definitely just got to get back to, you know, the mental wellness of things in order to, you know, be better versions of ourselves, and to also help people in the process as well, too, no matter what age or race, creed, or sexual orientation is very paramount. So as we're going into the second hour of the Beat Break Morning Show on WBS 87 FM Atlanta, the Beat Break Morning Show, BeatBreakRadioFM.com, simulcasting on ThinkingOutLoudNetwork.com. We got two amazing, beautiful ladies on the live line with us, Shanta Hayes and Melinda Woods of the Mental Massage Wellness. And we want to go ahead and let you all give out information to our listeners and to our viewers on how they can be a part of this initiative. Like, what are some of the steps? What is the protocol to signing up to the initiative? So that way we can get some people in the doors, get some people to talk to you, ladies, and just help them on a better path to becoming a better version of themselves. But let's go ahead and talk about what is the standard procedure, the protocol to signing up to Mental Massage Wellness.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll do this. And then it would be great to have Shanta describe her orientation. So the way that it starts, you go to mentalmassagewellness.com. Again, that's mentalmassagewellness.com. And there is really a beautiful page there. I've gotten great feedback on the page that, will say all the things we've said today. Right. If you know that you are stressed, you have a lot of stuff going on, you need something to be handed to you in a package and you don't want to think about it, that's what mental massage is for. You can go to getting started on the page, and there is a no cost kind of membership form that will describe the program again to you and ask you a series of questions, as we just described, to kind of characterize what you're looking for, what you're needing, what your experience has been with things like law of attraction, yoga, what your self-care regimen is already today. And then a accountability partner will have a intake meeting with you. And then we'll talk again more about the program and describe in more depth as we have today, the number of services, the types of services, and talk through the providers on the platform. And so if you were to look at the pilot program page on the platform, you will see a picture of all the lovely ladies and a description of all the different types of services that are available today. And I'm adding more providers every day. The ideal over time would be to have providers that cover at least 16 hours of the day, frankly, 7 days a week, because again, it's about convenience. And to have those accountability partners, there and checking in really, as frequently as it makes sense for you. Because again, it's about what is not stressful and what's helpful for you. And so when we have the intake meeting, the accountability partner and the client has the intake meeting, we agree that it makes sense. We'll walk through the payment system, which is on the site as well. We'll get that piece squared away, and then we will assign the initial, as Shanta mentioned, the initial matching with the client and the provider across all three types of services. So you'll have 3 different providers. And then each of the providers will then have an orientation session with you, and they will do their thing because they are experts at their craft. So there is no hampering of the provider's brilliance and excellence in providing their service. So you're going to be getting the best. So with that, I'll also let Shanta speak from a provider's perspective of what that orientation session looks like.
All righty.
Thank you. So after the accountability partner has assigned them, their providers, they will schedule a meeting with me, and I will do my own orientation where I do a self-care assessment. So basically, I'm asking you, what are you doing right now? How is your sleep? How's your diet? How's your exercise? What are your personal relationships like? Then we're going to set a set of goals. We're going to create a set of goals, 3, because we don't want you to be inundated. We're going to meet twice a month. Okay. And we'll do those 3 big goals, but then I'm going to send you homework because I'm that one. I send homework. And you're going to work on your secondary goals, right? So someone wants to increase their sleep from 5 hours to 7 hours. Okay. So I'm going to be real with you. It's like, what are you doing before you go to bed? Do you have your devices in bed? Do you take your phone to bed? Do you use your do not disturb? You know what I'm saying? We're going to, how do you sleep now? Do you toss and turn? Do you wake in the middle of the night? Do you have trouble falling asleep? Do you have trouble staying asleep? Like, what is going on? So we do a whole sleep assessment, in that regard, because sleep is the goal. But also, we're talking about, I want to be more present. So we're going to talk about savoring. So coping and savoring. How do you deal with situations that come along? Do you actually take the time to enjoy what's going on? If you're only eating once a day, are you enjoying what you're eating? Or are you just eating because there's food there? Or how are we handling this relationship with food? Oh, wait, you feel like you spend a little too much money. Wait. So what's your relationship with money like? So we do all types of assessments and set goals based on what you determine your needs are. And I'm very clear on that. These are your goals. You're going to set them. These are your words, not mine, because I can't tell you how to live your life. It's not. And then we'll schedule our next appointment. And of course, because I exhale all the time, right? We're going to learn how to incorporate breathing to help you with all of these practices, right? So adding breath work as part of your daily life so that you become more present and you are savoring more and you are able to self-soothe and get yourself back to sleep. Or you're able to say, you know what? That wasn't as big as I thought it was. And keep it moving. And that's what we'll do.
All right. So. All right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The steps and the proper protocol to take when signing up for the mental massage wellness camp. Would it be fair for me to call it a camp more than just an initiative, but a camp as well? Would it be fair to say that?
You can call it a camp. You can call it a platform. You can call it an initiative. You can call it a movement. I call it a movement.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and this is kind of what I wanted to say when you said, what you keep going back to what Shanta said about what vacation is. And for me, I said, imagine if you figured out how to make yourself have vacation, as you described it, every day, multiple times of the day. right? Imagine that. That's the point of mental massage. It's a movement.
Yeah. It's a movement, a very big movement. Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't love to take a mental vacation every now and then or every week? I would love to have one. I would love to just block out everything and everybody for as many times a week as much as possible. I know I do. I know I need to take a vacation from social media. And people know that I'm on social media all the time. Yeah. DJ Rome, you know, it gets crazy. It gets crazy. But that's why we need platforms like the Mental Massage Wellness. So for more information, people can go online to mentalmassagewellness.com. That's mentalmassagewellness.com. And as far as social media, speaking of social media, because we still need those platforms to market and promote what you ladies are doing, how can they reach you or how can they follow you on social media?
Sure. So Mental Massage Wellness is at Mental Massage Wellness on Facebook and Instagram. I believe Twitter and LinkedIn are out there, but I'm going to be doing a much bigger push on those here in the upcoming weeks. So Mental Massage Wellness is the handle across all platforms for mental massage, and each of the providers are avidly promoted on all of the mental massage platforms. So Shanta, please.
Yep. I am SL Hayes _speaks on all Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever there is out there. That's what I am. SL Hayes _speaks.
Love it. Mental Massage Wellness, and we're going to work on getting the flyer on our website, beatbreakradiofm.com, so people can get more information and click on the link. All right. Always keeping you informed and empowered right here on the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast with yours truly, Sean Garvey, along with DJ Roll. Time to switch up gears for the next hour of the program. By the way, ladies, Melinda, Shanta, if you are willing to stick around for another hour of the Beat Break Morning Show, you're more than welcome to. We're about to touch on some fun stuff. We got to bring back the fun stuff, ladies and gentlemen. I know we've been talking about some serious stuff over the past few podcast episodes. And also, by the way, going back to Mental Massage Wellness, I am looking at the flyer right now. You all, I love it. I love it. You all have like 6, 7, 8 women, including Shanta, on the flyer. And I love the fact that it's all women because I love seeing diversity. And I think we need more of that on every platform. It shouldn't just be just one gender or one thing, but we always are embracing diversity and people of different genders, and including you all for pushing out important initiatives to help people practice self-care and to practice getting to that better path as far as mental is concerned. So I'm loving it. Beautiful women. I just got to compliment you all.
Thank you.
But yes, indeed. So let's switch gears right here on the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. And DJ Roland's been waiting for X amount of days to talk about this. The new phenomenon that's been blowing up social media as well as the internet. You know, people come on this platform. Speaking of platforms, this is a very huge platform that we have seen a lot of our favorite artists and musicians get on to showcase their talent, you know, and to rock out like they always do. We grew up listening to them on the radio, watching them on TV. You know what's so crazy, DJ Roland? We had the casual conversations with the reunion on the Beat Break Morning Show. Shout out to DJ Yogi. We reunited along with Miss Dia from 89.3 FM WRFG, as well as DJ DCast. And when I was on the show back in the day when I was 19, I'm telling my age a little bit. I was 19 back in 2003. And I was on the late night hip hop mix show, Casual Conversations with DCast and DJ Yogi on WRFG 89.3 FM. And we were talking about this segment called The Dream Battle. It was a segment that was brought to the attention to a lot of our listeners at the time orchestrated by DCAS. And what DCAS and a few of us would do on the show is we put two artists up against each other, head to head, and we play their songs on the air. This was pre-versus, ladies and gentlemen, pre-versus. First ones to ever do it on an underground platform late at night between 2 to 6 a.m. That was just one of the segments that we did on the show. And, you know, at that time, we had a lot of hot artists, lyrical, spitting, verses, bar, all that great stuff, right? Fast forward to now, this new phenomenon, Versus, orchestrated by mega producers Timbaland and Swiss Beats, have taken by storm. And every other week, I always hear people talk about this artist going up against this artist. We've already seen the Versus battle between Teddy Riley and Babyface. I think we were talking about this offline. That was the first, if not one of the first Versus battles that we've seen online. Teddy Riley and Babyface. I know people were getting on Teddy Riley because of the technical difficulties on his end. And then it spilled over to other artists going up against other artists. We've seen the Jill Scott versus Erykah Badu. We've seen the Brandy versus Monica. We've seen the Young Jeezy versus Gucci Mane. And one of my favorite was D'Angelo and Friends. To me, it was more of a concert than a versus. Just my opinion. Mm-hmm. But since we have the platform and we play a lot of their music on our network as well as on this show, I thought it was only right, DJ Roland, we talk about it. Well, let me ask you this. And we still have our special guests, Belinda Woods and Shanta Hayes, Hayes. What do you think about versus right now? Or matter of fact, let me rephrase the question. What do you think about the recent battles that you have seen from versus? Like one of the last few that I felt some type of way about, I didn't get a chance to go back and watch it, was the SWV versus Escape. And I know a lot of people were like, this is before SWV and Escape. I'm more of a big SWV fan than Escape. Not knocking Escape. You know, we come from Atlanta, ATL baby, right? But SWV, mixing hip hop with R&B, woo! That was my thing. I'm a big SWV fan. I love Escape. Shout out to Candy, Tiny, but SWV. I didn't even have to watch it. I think SWV killed it. I heard a lot of people say SWV shut Escape down.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. I heard more of SWV was killing it and whatnot. But see, the thing about it is too, not talking bad about Escape. You know, they had their time, just like SWV had their time. But sometimes, not all the time, when personal stuff goes flowing over, it affects the group itself. A big example is like how New Edition was trying to stay a certain platform for the longest. So when Bobby decided, because of whatever and all that stuff, I'm talking about outside of the movie and whatnot that BET put out, basically Bobby just had enough. He wanted to do his thing, and he did his thing and whatnot, and got successful and whatnot. And New Edition kept on going, and they know they needed a fifth person, and Johnny Gill was already successful himself, and they added him on there to give the extra flavor. So it's all about personal stuff. So with SWV, they didn't have a lot of personal stuff. They knew they had the voices, and they're going against Escape. They had voices, but they had issues going on and whatnot, and that affected the group, you know. And so people want to hear clarity and good sounding stuff without trying to overdo somebody else. SWV, sisters with voices, Perfect
But
sound.
what other group? But here's my thing, DJ Rollo, man, and you two can also chime in as well. Here's my thing. Do you think there should have been another group that SWV and or Escape should have went up against? Because I've been going back and forth, right? And
I would have said SWV and Vogue.
In Vogue would have been good.
Yes, SWV and Vogue would have been a great battle. That'd be like a 90s and 80s thing to me.
I think it should have been. I think it should have been in Vogue versus. I think it should have been in Vogue versus Escape.
What? Hold up.
I'm gonna tell you what group SWV should have went up against, but I want to hear what Shantae has to say.
I have to leave, but before I'm gonna jump off camera, but I think it should have been like Total. And I know y'all gonna be like, what? But Total had a better combination of that R&B kind of hip hop flavor.
Yeah. I agree.
In my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Escape was more straight R&B. And then they had their drama. I mean, Total had their own stuff too, but I think the flavor matched better with SWV.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Okay. All right. I know you got to go, Chantel. Wish you could stay longer here on the Big Break Morning Show. We got to have you back again, though.
Thank you, of course. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm gonna turn my camera off, but I'll be here. Because I want to hear this.
Oh no! I got a feeling she's gonna jump back on and be like, "Wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute." No, you did not just say this group should go up against this group. What?
I'm not gonna say I'm not. I'm just gonna be real because I may push back. You know, I'm known for pushing back. Like,
I got you. I got your accountability partner. All right.
Absolutely.
All right.
MentalMassageWellness.com. All right. Thanks so much, Shanta.
All right.
Appreciate it. Melinda Woods still hanging out with us. You got time to hang out with us, Melinda?
Yeah. I'm gonna go get my son together. I'm gonna go gather him in a minute here, but I want to hear. I want to hear this too.
You want to hear this? Okay.
Yeah.
So Shanta says Total should have been up against SWV. I think that's more valid.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's more. I can see that. Or if not Total, maybe like a 702. A 702?
I don't know because the 702 have enough hits. 702 doesn't have enough hits.
They got a few.
They got a few. I'm talking about this is a versus. Versus meaning that it's going to last. You want it to last at least an hour.
But I mean, that Stilo.
Like where
my girls
one big song was Stilo. 702 doesn't have
where
enough
my girls at
hits.
was a hit also. Where my girls at was an anthem.
Yes. I'm talking about numerous stuff. Total group, the group Total has at least 3 albums, I believe. I don't know if 702 has the minimum of 2. Maybe. I'm just being real.
Right, I mean, like 702, they had some bangers.
They had some bangers, but it's an hour's worth. Is it hours worth?
I would say about an hour. About an hour.
About an hour.
I would say, where
now, how long verses usually last, though? How long verses usually last?
How long does sometimes an hour and a half to 2 hours? There's no time limit.
Exactly. I don't think that would have been long enough with 702.
Okay, all right.
I'm just being real.
I was about to name some other joints too, no doubt. All I Need from the Good Burger soundtrack. Should I keep going? Star?
Yeah. Keep going because I don't think it's another daggone hits from daggone 702.
I mean, we can include
I would have
features
said
as well.
like,
We can Beat Me 911, Missy Elliott. Let's include features.
What's that group that did with Rakim? God, dog, I can't think of the name. The group that did with Rakim.
You gotta come back to me on that.
Dog, I can't think of it, but it may come back. Yeah, if 702 went against them, it would have been a different story.
Okay.
I can't think of the group, but I know my audience people know what I'm talking about. But it's just that 702, in my opinion, doesn't have enough real hits to last in a versus.
God.
It's just my opinion on that.
So he's saying it don't matter who 702 was going to get.
Yeah, because 702 ain't got enough hits, man. They just don't. They don't have enough hits.
They got hits.
They don't have enough hits. 702.
Melinda, what do you say? It doesn't even just have Melinda. Let's go over to you. Like, what do you think about this versus so far? You know,
listen,
SWB. Yeah,
I'm kind of with DJ Rollum on that. If I'm getting on this joint, I cut my teeth on Erykah Badu and Jill Scott, and when I tell you they went all night long. So I need it. That's how I like it.
Yeah. That's what versus to me is all about. It's not a planned time.
Right.
With 702, that would be a planned time. Like, oh, okay, we gotta really look for some stuff with 702. We gotta do some digging.
Hey,
so I'm like, did we hear that song before? You know, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, play different parts. You play different parts at the same time. No,
I'm like, really?
Okay, who 702 up against who then?
Brownstone.
Brownstone
is the acapella group, but guess what? They did not last because of production. It's not like they couldn't do it. It was a production thing.
No.
What do you think? I mean, I'm just being real.
Brownstone didn't do no features though.
Yeah, they did. They were like a better acapella version of 702. That's why I said 702 and Brownstone would have had at least an hour worth of verses right there. Verses doesn't have a time limit. When you go to concerts, they have a time limit from beginning to end, even including the pre-stuff and all that, the pre-show and everything, and possibly
and the talking included.
Yeah, all that stuff. That's all they include. Versus doesn't have a time limit. It's all depends on what's being played at that particular moment. And then you got to look at what the reaction of the people feeding in, saying like, "Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. You did this and did that." Perfect example. Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Isley Brothers.
I like that
was
one.
Hours. That's what you call. Look, if it got that keeping my father later than 12 o'clock at night, looking at this on a computer screen or tablet, whatever he's looking at, that tells you that is pure entertainment, pure music being played from the old days and everything.
Okay.
I ain't worried about what Steve Harvey was doing. I'm talking about just the music
I wasn't worried about
itself.
what Steve Harvey was wearing.
Man, I ain't getting on. That's besides the point. That's what you need. Even when they did the DMX and Snoop, it was hours.
I felt some type of way about that, though. I mean,
that wasn't a good battle to me whatsoever. I mean, just because of my opinion and whatnot, that wasn't a good thing to do. We trying to do an East Coast, West Coast kind of thing without trying to really put it out there and whatnot, really. Yeah. So I would have won't you do like how they did Red Band Method Man? Won't you do a Dr. Dre and Ice Cube?
Yeah.
You know, do that.
No. Not a Dr. Dre versus IQ.
I'm just saying, if they did a Method Man and a Red Man, hey, they always at.
Yeah, but I mean, no. See,
I'm not saying they should. I'm just giving an example of that. Because I'm like, with DMX against Snoop, everybody knows Snoop has a lot more stuff going on than DMX.
That's a lot more catalog. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That to me, when I heard about that, wasn't even fair to me at all.
Was there ever a concept, and I thought maybe there was these were kind of the media rivalry type things? Wasn't that a concept at one point too? Like, these are the folks who were either, going against each other or people pitted against each other? Or compared.
That's what I was thinking. Was that trying to be like an East-West Coast undercover thing?
Yeah, I thought maybe that existed.
That's the only thing that came in my mind.
Was it DMX versus Snoop Dogg?
No, that wasn't really a thing. I mean, that's kind of the point. Right?
I mean, you put in the East and West Coast. I mean, come on. Why would you even that don't even go in the line with that? I would have said like, okay, this one, like who is it? They did E40 and Too Short. I would have put E4 or I would have put E40 against Snoop. I would have done Too Short against somebody else. That's just my opinion right there. I mean, okay. Yeah, come on, really?
Too Short up against Snoop Dogg. Now I don't think not so much of an E40, but Too Short up against Snoop Dogg. I can kind of see like a Too Short up against Snoop Dogg. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to throw some groups out there. I know we only got about 30 minutes left in this segment here. So I'm going to throw some groups out there, some artists up against other artists, and you all can say yay or nay. All right? Let's do it.
I got some too, because if you don't say these two, I got to put this out there.
Okay. And I know you got some, Melinda. Maybe just one or two.
Maybe.
Okay. All right. Let's start off with, let's see. Fabulous up against Big Sean.
Okay.
Versus.
Okay. Yeah, I can go.
I can see that.
The wordplay is crazy. Both slim guys.
Yeah.
One is from New York. The other is from Detroit.
Yeah.
Melinda. Mm-hmm. The D. Yeah. Wordplay is crazy. But who you think would slaughter?
Big
Fabulous
Sean.
Or Big Sean?
Big Sean. I say Big Sean.
You say, both of you all say Big Sean. Mm-hmm. Why? Because he got more hits than Fabulous?
Not just that, is flavor on type of stuff. Fabulous is so laid back. He's so laid back. There's nothing wrong being laid back. It's just that it's not because the Big Sean got more hits. It's just how Fabulous persona is.
Yeah,
is how he delivers. And just I'm looking at myself on how I see him, how he delivers. He's laid back. I'm just gonna flow and do my flow, and that's it.
Yeah, I was gonna say character. It kind of reminds me of what Ron Isley did on the Isley Brothers versus
Earth, Wind, Fire.
Earth, Wind, Fire, the Elements, right? It was just the swag, just the character piece.
Yeah. Okay. All right. But it's debatable. It is definitely debatable. Let's see. Let me go through my catalog here. Because people have been talking about Mary J. Blige. Mm-hmm. Mary J. Blige need to go up against this person. She needs to go up with it. I can see this person. Because some say that Mary J. Blige should go up against Usher. No. Some people have said Mary J. Blige should go up against Mariah. No.
No.
Let me tell you who I think Mary J. Blige should go up against. Faith Evans.
Yes. Yes.
That's perfect. That's dead on. That's dead right.
That's dead on. That's a more pure of queens of R&B going like how Jill Scott and Erykah Badu did their thing. The queens of neo soul. Mm-hmm. Mary J. and Faith going at it. Queens of R&B, hip hop R&B style.
Hip hop and R&B, baby.
Yeah.
But who got the biggest hits though?
Mary more likely.
Or Faith?
I say Mary.
Mary got those songs that you can remember forever. Mm-hmm. Faith.
You remind me. I mean, come on.
Yeah. You remind me. Yeah. Happy. Mm-hmm. What else? It's so much. Real love.
So much. That first album, what's the 411? I mean, 411. When I was in Tuskegee, man, that was the next to Tribe's album coming out, their third album coming out. That was the most played CD I ever played right there. Yeah. What's the 411? Man, woo.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Speaking of Tribe, and I said this on the podcast, if you remember DJ Rollin. Yeah. At first I felt Tribe should go up against De La Soul.
Okay, that will work.
That will work. That's not bad to me.
That will work. But tell the audience what you really Tribe should go against.
There's this whole thing about Tribe going up against Outkast.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work.
Yeah. How you gonna put Hey Ya up against? What can you put
Hey Ya
up against? A war tour, exactly. or the space program.
Right.
Yeah. Can't put Hey Ya up against a war tour or the space program or electric relaxation. Yeah. Outkast. No, you know what? Now that I remember, it was not De La Soul and Tribe. Outkast up against Goody Mob. Melinda shaking her head.
That's like a Method Man and Redman thing.
Yeah.
That's all that is. That's a southern version of Redman, Method Man with bigger groups. That's it right there.
Right. But when it comes to hits, though, I'm not going to say.
Outkast,
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one.
I say Outkast
because I know Cujo may be
hits, of course.
Cujo may be watching. Yeah. Let's see. Because people have been saying Usher and Chris Brown.
That would be awesome.
I'm going to say negative on that one.
You going to say negative on that one?
Yeah, I'm going to say negative.
I say negative on that one too, because I think Usher, it's more, I don't know, Neo or somebody like that.
I ain't gonna say negative on. I ain't gonna. Reason why that would be a good thing because of how their personality is, their hits, everything. Usher and Chris Brown, man,
I'm going to tell you who I think. I'm going to tell you who I think Usher should go up against, and you all may cancel culture me when I say this. There you go. There you go. That Usher and Justin Timberlake.
Oh my God.
Come
on now. You said
that's his protege. No.
Neo.
That would be different.
I would say Neo up against Chris Brown. Now, Chris Brown and Neo, I can see that. What? They went and Stomp the Yard together. They came out around the same time.
Yeah, but
Usher and Justin were years back.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I feel like too, though. I feel like Chris Brown.
Yeah. DJ, I'm thinking about that.
Nope, at least not me.
He's gonna call me. He's gonna call me tomorrow and be like, you know what's wrong? I can see that. Usher and Justin. I can see that. Yeah. Well, let's say you, Melinda. Let's give you a chance. Who do you like to see go up against each other on the first?
I'm gonna go to the ballots because that's what I do, and I want to see something like. Brian McKnight and Eric Benet.
Brian McKnight, who?
Eric Benet.
Yeah, I'm just saying. DJ Romo was like, oh.
I mean,
I like the sound. I like the sound of that.
Kenny Lattimore in there too, right?
Yeah.
Somebody like that.
Kenny Lattimore up against Brian. I don't know about that though. Brian McKnight and Eric Benet.
I see that more. I see that more.
That's my original thought.
Yeah.
I need somebody. I need Lauryn Hill and somebody, but I don't know who.
Ooh, Lauryn Hill.
Lauryn Hill.
Lauryn. If Lauryn was in the right state of mind. Sorry, all my Lauryn Hill fans. Sorry.
Listen, I saw her live and I know exactly what you're saying. And it was this long time ago, but I was like, wait, this is a whole nother thing at the Howard Theater in DC.
Yeah. If Lauryn was in the right state of mind, it would have been Lauryn Hill and Erykah Badu.
I wrote that. That's what I said. I said Lauryn Hill versus Badu. That's what I said. So we're on the same page with that.
Right. And then then Just Scott up against Marsha Ambrosius.
Oh.
Yeah.
That would have been sweet.
Yeah.
That would have been sweet. That would have been sweet.
It would have been hard for me to decide. Jill, Marsha, just like with Lauryn and Erykah. Ooh. That would have been so damn hard though. That would have been so hard to choose.
You got another one? Do you have another one?
I don't. I do. I would love. I'm gonna put some old people in there, like the Isley brothers. I would love to see. I'm gonna make it international for y'all too. Sade.
Oh, okay. You're gonna go international.
Sade. And I don't even know who. Whitney Houston, I guess. Somebody like that is who would have to be, but I don't know.
That wouldn't work.
I don't know.
Wait a minute. Stop the beat.
Be.
You said Sade and Whitney Houston?
I don't know who to put up with otherwise.
That wouldn't work. Great females, but two different avenues on that. Sade and Whitney Houston. Nah. Would have been great is Whitney against Mariah.
Yeah,
I was thinking the same thing. Whitney
and Mariah.
Yeah.
That was.
But I want with Sade. So who we gonna put with her?
It'd be like a D'Angelo and Friends.
Yeah.
Sade and Friends.
Yeah.
It's just no ordinary love.
You got that right.
Ordinary soldier of love. It'd be a concert.
Yeah.
It'd just be a concert.
Mm-hmm.
Sade and Friends.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. That's my last.
That's your last one.
So I got a few more. Okay, here we go. Darnell Jones up against John B.
John B.
That would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that would be good.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Of course, you know who's gonna win, though, right? You know who's gonna win.
That's tough. That's tough. I don't want to come off biased though, DJ Roland, but that's tough. I mean, where I want to be with Darnell Jones and they don't know with John B. Oh my goodness.
Mm.
Who you think gonna win, DJ Roland? I want to hear you.
I say Darnell is gonna win on that one.
Me too.
Darnell, oh man.
He can hold. John B. will hold his ground. He will hold his ground.
You know what? Yeah.
He will hold his ground, but I don't think he will overcome it.
But that they don't know though, because like I can listen to that. They don't know more than where I want to be. The single though, not the album. The single. But yeah. Who else? Joe versus Case.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes.
They did a record together, and then they can go up against each other together.
Right. Just like how Monica and Brandy did. So they did a record together, and they can go at each other. Yeah. So yeah.
Absolutely. But I'm gonna have to go with Case on that one though.
Okay.
I'll have to go with Case unless you all think otherwise.
I got one. This is an old school versus new. Well, he ain't considered new, but it's more of a more up to date one. Teddy Pendergrass against Maxwell.
I can see that.
Wait. I gotta stop the beat again. Did you just say Teddy Pendergrass up against Maxwell?
Yep.
And Melinda, did you just say I can go with that?
And you know what's crazy is, Teddy Pendergrass is not my dude, but as it relates to the verses, I can see that.
I would have rather for you, DJ Roland, to say Teddy Pendergrass up against Jaheim than Teddy Pendergrass up against Maxwell.
Because we got smooth versus rough and rough versus rough. Right.
No, I mean, what? I mean, Teddy Pendergrass, like, how would he come back on verses though?
Love is the TKO. I mean,
nah, bro. No, sir. No, sir. I could say
joy. He would come back with joy.
Oh boy. No.
I'm old school, so
I would have said Maxwell up against Eric Burnett.
Okay.
Yeah, Maxwell could go.
Yeah, that would be good. That would really have been good.
Yeah. Not up against no Teddy Pendergrass.
Listen, he was the old school.
I'm saying old school versus. That's why I say.
Throwing Al Green up against Teddy Pendergrass.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No, I'm with that too.
I mean, this is old school. We're talking about old school, baby.
Okay.
Teddy Pendergrass versus Al Green.
All right, I got one. What was that? The OJs against the
Temptations.
Not the Temptations.
The Whispers.
Yeah, the Whispers.
The Whispers. That will work.
Okay.
I feel like I've seen both of them at at Essence Festival way back in the day. In previous time.
That would be more than a versus battle. That would be like a Tom Joyner versus battle.
He would definitely love to MC that one. He would definitely love to MC that one.
Tom Joyner Cruise versus battle edition.
Yeah. That's how you come back with the new cruise line, the versus line.
The OJs versus the Whispers.
Yep.
What are Whispers gonna bring other than their mustaches?
Oh God.
Just saying though. What are they gonna bring? Huh? Yeah.
Oh boy.
All
right, I got another old school. Stephanie Mills against Sherelle. For my old school folks, Stephanie Mills against Sherelle.
Belinda? Stephanie Mills. Sherelle. Stephanie Mills
shaking her head. She's like, I don't know.
Yeah, Stephanie Mills sticks out more than Sherelle.
I'm trying to think about Stephanie Mills against who.
All right, think about Saturday Night Live with Alex O'Neal. That's Sherelle.
You see what I'm saying? You see?
It's the expression on your face.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. This is the same person who said. This is the same person who said Teddy Pendergrass up against Maxwell. At least I came out with some great ones, though.
I'm not saying it was great, but see, this is I gotta bring in the old school, the traditional old school, traditional.
Okay.
These are traditional.
Not against the new ones, Sean Garvey said. Just leave them back with the other old traditional people.
Oh my goodness. We're staying with old school for a moment. Okay. For a quick moment. Old school, let me see here. Cause there's so many old school artists. Let's see. A lot of them passed though. I mean, some are still alive. Maybe, you know.
Yeah.
If Ray Charles,
I'm surprised there's other old school you didn't even mention. And everybody knows these two.
Yeah.
MJ and Prince.
Oh yeah.
Wait, say that again?
Michael Jackson and Prince.
Yeah, that would have been the ultimate. That's like the ultimate.
That would have been a 2-day versus right there. 2 days. You can't even do it in one night.
That would have been a 1 week. That would have been a week.
A week. Yeah.
That would have been a mini. That would have been a mini series.
He said a mini series.
Hell, that would have been not only on YouTube or Instagram. That would have been on Hulu. That would have been on Netflix. Right. Would have been on pay-per-view.
Because this is what happened when Prince passed. I had so many requests not only to have a Prince dedication mix, but they wanted me to do a Prince MJ. So it's like a versus before versus was out. I did that and they loved that, what I did and whatnot. And it was only an hour and a half long. And that was just, just a minimal of their hits and whatnot. Because remember, Prince was, Prince is by himself, but Prince in the Revolution and all that. And then and MJ being with the Jacksons and Jackson 5 and did a couple songs. I know he did at least one, but I think he did another one with Janet Jackson and whatnot. So hey.
Well, hey, I mean, let's do the Jackson 5 in honor of Michael Jackson. the Jackson 5, up against the New Generation, Sheila E. and the other bandmates.
That's not
in honor of
fair,
Prince.
That won't be approved, man. Jackson 5.
Yeah, that's not a fair competition.
Now I would say if you want to do like an old school and newer version, Another Bad Creation versus the Jackson 5.
That also is.
I'm about to turn your mic off, DJ Roland. You just offended me.
That also is not a fair competition.
DJ Roland.
Shout out to Cap Peach. Right?
No, you did not just say that. Well, hey, at least Shanta didn't come back. No, I was waiting for Shanta to come back and say,
I'm trying to create something.
Yeah, Jackson 5, who you put them on? I mean, that's another one.
You talking about some other family named Jackson.
Right.
What you talking about? David Jackson, Scott Jackson, Mark Jackson. Who you talking about? All right, we only got a few minutes left here on the Beat Break Morning Show.
But I got to make one last one, and this is to your guy. This is to your guy, Mr. Sean.
You talking about Common?
Common versus Q-Tip.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Why?
Common versus Nas.
Q-Tip. You had to bring that up.
Common versus Nas, DJ.
Did you really bring that up?
Q-Tip. Not Q-Tip versus Common. No, sir. See, even got Melinda closing her eyes, like, and shaking her head. How dare you?
I'm sitting here trying to think Common
and Nas, because Common said, "I am Chi-Town's Nas," and Common and Nas were supposed to do a album together, a project together. This could be their project, Common versus Nas. Okay. They are both influential. They both put out classic hits.
Okay.
They both conscious.
They're both conscious.
They both date crazy women in the past. I'm just saying. Common was with Erica and Nas was with Khalees.
Oh well, hey.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
All's well ends well.
All's well ends well. Yeah, but not no Q-Tip. I mean, it got to be somebody else other than maybe like Q-Tip. Let me see. Q-Tip up against, I would say Drake 2000 if he had put out at least one or two solo albums.
No.
Okay.
You see how
I would say Mos Def, but I was gonna have just Mos Def versus Talib Kweli.
Yeah, I have Mos Def on my list too.
Maybe like a Mos Def up against Q-Tip.
Okay, I can go with that. I
like Talib Kweli.
You like who?
Talib Kweli.
Talib Kweli, yeah. Talib Kweli up against Mos, Black Star, just like Method Man and Redman. A few more real quick. Let's see. Producers, because you did mention Dr. Dre. Who would you put Dr. Dre up against? You can't put him up against Jermaine Dupri.
That would have been a smack in the face.
We still waiting on that Diddy and Jermaine Dupri battle.
Yeah, that would have been a huge battle right there. Yeah, they battled for so long.
Yeah, they did it in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Sir.
And to be honest, and if people really think about it, Jermaine Dupri was trying to hold on as much as he possibly can.
Yeah.
He was trying to hold on as much as possibly can.
Yeah. And then the rap game came. Mm-hmm. And after that, it was pretty much game over.
Yep.
Oh boy. Really quick, speaking of verses, the battle is coming. Soulja Boy up against Bow Wow. It was supposed to be Bow Wow up against Lil Romeo, Master P's son. But now it is official. Bow Wow up against Soulja Boy. What do you all think about that?
That's going to be a trip, but I believe Soulja Boy may get that one for real.
I was gonna say I would go with Soulja Boy for that.
I mean, Soulja Boy did change internet rap forever.
Yeah, he did.
He did change internet rap forever. But Bow Wow, with those classics.
Now, does he want to be called Little Bow Wow? Because that's what he was being.
It's Bow
little.
Wow.
So do you want to be called Little Bow Wow with those classics to get Soulja Boy?
Hey,
I'm talking about all my folks. You know, I'm a skater. So all of Jermaine Dupri, Usher, Chris Brown, Bow Wow, all those guys skate down there where you guys are.
Yeah. ATL.
Yeah.
ATL, though.
I mean,
you know,
I mean, let me tell you this. If a child was born, I would say after 2009, 2010.
They don't know.
And it's 2021 right now. They still rock Soulja Boy Tell.
Absolutely. My son.
They are not gonna rock with daggone Bow Wow.
My son don't even know who Bow Wow is, but he knows.
Bounce with me.
I just did an 8th grade graduation and whatnot, and I'm like, I put that on. They were like, yeah, I can't put Bow Wow in that playlist with that.
Hey man, well, we shall see. On Versus. Bow Wow.
Soulja Boy's gonna get him.
Mm-hmm.
Soulja Boy, tell him is gonna get him.
Yep.
Okay.
Bow Wow, go back to Ubering.
No, you did not. You are hard. You are horrible. Oh my God. All right. Melinda Woods, ladies and gentlemen, right here on the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. Thank you so much for being our first time special guest on the morning show. Once again, it is mentalmassagewellness.com for more information on getting your mental right. And before we go into fake news and not fake news, Melinda Woods, you got any quick shout outs, any last remarks?
No, I thank you guys here, Sean, Garvey, DJ Rollum. It's been a blast. I'm gonna go get my son together, go gather him. My shout outs go to Shanta and the rest of the providers on the platform. My son for dealing with me now, starting a business and working a full-time job as a director, and being a single parent and being a helicopter mom and driving him crazy. So that's it. Thank you guys and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much. You have a wonderful evening as well. All right, Melinda Woods, right here on the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast, talking about some great stuff earlier. If you missed out on it, don't worry, folks. You can check out our on-demand section on beatbreakradiofm.com and on the Podcast FM app if you missed the half portion of the show as we talked about mental massage wellness, as well as Shanta Hayes. We really appreciate Shanta Hayes for coming on the live line with us right on the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. Sean Garvey, DJ Rollum, we only got a few minutes left right here on the morning show. We haven't done in a while. We haven't done fake news and not fake news. Always some crazy stuff happening in the news, right? So, Yep, let's get into it real quick. Fake news or not fake news right here on the Beat Break Morning Show.
I'm just so curious on what is considered.
All right, fake news or not fake news?
Yeah,
what's considered fake or not fake?
Right.
We shall find out and see. Fake news and not fake news right here on the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. If you are a first-time listener to the Morning Show podcast, we pick out news stories and we let you determine whether this particular story is fake or not fake. Okay, so here we go. You ready, DJ Roll?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Fake news, not fake news. A prison break. 180 inmates escaped federal lockups in 18 months. Fake news or not fake news?
That's
180 inmates.
Shoot, you lucky if you get 5 of them, they can get out of a federal prison. Not to be mean against. Can I talk about one particular prison?
Alcatraz.
I was talking about Fulton County. That 180 can get out of Fulton County.
Roland, it's one thing for inmates. You're right about that. It's one thing for inmates to escape Alcatraz.
Right.
But Fulton County? Oh boy, you thought you saw crime here in Atlanta? You ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, that's what I said, Fulton County. So that's definitely fake because you said federal. And there's no way that amount of inmates from a federal prison can escape.
So you think the story is fake?
Yeah. That amount, not the story being fake, the amount that you said is fake.
All right. You got me there. So the amount is fake. It's actually 29 inmates.
Ooh, that many?
29 inmates escaped federal lockups in 18 months.
Man.
Yeah. Over the past 18 months, 29 prisoners have escaped from federal lockups across the U.S., and nearly half still have not been caught. At one Texas lockup, now check this out. At one Texas lockup, security is so lax that local law enforcement officials privately joke about its seemingly open door policy. What open door policy?
Talk to Fulton County. Because I'm sorry, Fulton County jail people and whatnot, but I'm telling you, look, we're in Metro Atlanta, folks. We're in Metro Atlanta, and everybody knows this. And we have the main counties are Fulton, DeKalb, Clayton, Cobb, Gwinnett. Those are the main ones. Out of all of the ones I just said, as I said earlier, Fulton has a lot of prisoners breaking out. And it doesn't always have to be on the news. I don't know what's wrong with their system to have that many inmates to break out.
Yeah, man.
You never hear DeKalb. You never hear Cobb. You don't hear Gwinnett. You don't hear those other county prisons having any breakouts. You always hear Fulton. So something's wrong with the infrastructure of Fulton County Jail. So,
yep, it's crazy. Mm-hmm. Crazy in the ATL.
Yep.
California, Louisiana, as well as Texas and Colorado remain at large. We're talking about as far as 12 of the inmates who escaped in 2020 last year from prison.
During the pandemic.
During the pandemic, yeah. I guess they don't want to catch COVID in prison. Yeah, man. That also includes Florida as well, too. So you got Florida, California, Louisiana, Texas, and Colorado. 12 of the inmates in 2020. Wow. That's crazy.
Yep.
Fake news or not fake news. Man dumps 80,000 pennies on ex-wife's lawn as last child support payment. Fake news or not fake news?
Use pennies.
Come back on.
Pennies.
Yeah. I'm going to say that one more time. Man dumps 80,000 pennies on ex-wife's lawn as last child support payment. You say that's fake, Melinda, or not fake?
I say it's not fake.
You say it's not fake. DJ Roland,
I say it's not either because I feel Brother Man. I feel him. I feel him. I say it's not fake. As a father and whatnot, I feel him. I feel him.
Well, boys and girls, this story is not fake.
I was right.
Yeah. A Virginia father made his final child support payment to his ex-wife last month by dumping a trailer filled with 80,000 pennies onto her front lawn, according to reports. The coins amounted, pennies, 80,000 pennies. Not dollars, pennies. The coins amounted to $800, which the mother and her 18-year-old daughter, Avery Sanford, were forced to pick up by hand with help from several friends in the neighborhood. Now, first of all, why in the hell would you voluntarily pick up 80,000 worth of pennies?
How long were they divorced?
How long were they divorced? I don't know.
Because that's a long time to collect some damn pennies, man.
And where did he keep 80,000 pennies? I think it was in a dump truck or something. And that's just petty. Like, that's got to be the world's most pettiest
payment and whatnot. Because you have to, I'm going by what you said, you have to collect them over a period of time to get that many and whatnot. And then I'm like, okay. And here's the thing to parents who have child support, mothers and fathers and whatnot, because I've done it and what.
Okay.
The money is for the child.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a problem with the parent, now to me, this is just how I did what I did. I'm focusing on a child. Now, if I want to be, that petty, I would have probably gave my child, let's say $600 and whatnot, and then the rest in pennies just to be an ass to the ex-wife. Because the child needed the money. This is what it's called child support. Now, if you can have proof that this woman is taking the money and doing whatever with it and not going towards the child, then yeah, I can see that. But if you have a good relationship, to me, if you have a good relationship with the child, give the child the money and then be an ass to the ex-wife, give her the $2,000 or $3,000 and whatnot. That's what I would have done. Something like that.
That dude need a mental massage. Let me tell you, the amount of time you spent plotting that, like, let me say these pennies here, let me do it like this, dude. That negative energy is coming right back to you.
I know.
They should have invested it into the mental massage wellness to get that therapy, huh?
Yeah, right.
Like, really.
But guess what they did with the money? The coins, rather. Guess what they did with it?
They did something good. I saw.
They turned something bad into something good. And what they did with the coins or the money, same thing. They donated the money to a domestic abuse center in Richmond, Virginia, eager to turn the act of spite into a good deed. How about that? Yeah.
Well, at least that's something good came out of it.
Right. Yeah. I just think it was messed up for... Yeah, I think it was messed up how he went about that. I mean, 80,000, that is so unheard of.
Right.
80,000 pennies.
Where did he keep the pennies?
That's a good question. I mean, he probably had jars and jars and jars saved up.
Well, you said he delivered it in a trailer, so
yeah.
That's
I like to know what his neighbors were thinking when he was putting all those pennies on that trailer. So I hope it was covered.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Woo! Now that's what I call a penny for your thoughts, right there. I guess baby mama was calling him every other hour. Where's my child support? Where the money at?
$800 is not really super.
Yeah, $800. What? That's rent money.
That's what, yeah.
That's a cell phone bill money.
Right.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Woo.
Hey man, if you got those kind of phones, so
okay.
Yeah. Shout out to the iPhone people. And
I was thinking of a car payment. That's the $800.
Hey man. Depending on what kind of car you got.
Yeah, right.
Last but not least, fake news is not fake. Well, okay. So this story is not fake, but I thought it was fake when I saw the headline. So ladies and gentlemen, I get news alerts all the time on my phone. And you know how when you get news alerts, they don't show you the entire wording of the headline. They only show you bits and pieces of it. So I saw a headline that reads, Laura Ingraham. You all know who Laura Ingraham is, right?
Little House on Prairie.
Yeah. Laura Ingraham says Kamala Harris, our vice president, showing signs of crack.
Of what?
Of crack? This is like crack cocaine.
Like crack. I thought that's what the headline was.
And A-balls and rocks.
That's what I thought I heard that.
I was like, wait a minute, hold on. I gotta stop the beat on this one real quick. I thought the headline said, Laura Ingraham says Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, showing signs of crack. I was like, crack, okay, is she insinuating that she is a crack addict, a crackhead? Our very own Vice President of the United States of America. So I was like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. Before I could share this on Facebook, because you know how I do the year. Before I could share this with anybody, let me click on the link. And that's what I'm supposed to do as a journalist, as a radio personality, right? You know, some radio personalities, they read a headline and they run with it. I had to click on the link to read more. That's not what the headline says, ladies and gentlemen. The headline reads, Laura Ingraham says Kamala Harris, quote, and I'm using air quotes here, showing signs of cracking over border crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. I was like, oh man, I thought we was gonna have to do you may be a racist and you don't even know it segment right then and there.
You lucky Moody's now on here. You lucky Moody's now on here because he would have been going off.
Yeah, because Laura is white. She's a Caucasian woman. And we all know what complexion Kay Harris is. I call her Kay Harris for short. Because I got on some people that, were angry at me because I said Camilla.
Just Kamala.
You gave her a black girl name, for real.
Yeah, man.
You
can't get any black name. Say that again?
You didn't want to have an East Indian name?
Yeah. You can't get any blacker than Kamala. You can't. No, sir.
Camilla.
Laura Ingraham.
He said Kamala.
That's like
it's Kamala.
You see what I'm saying? That's why I call it Kay Harris.
So you won't get yourself in trouble.
It's like, I was like, damn. Like, I don't think our vice president knows the correct pronunciation of her first name. I don't think she knows because I heard two different versions of how she says her name from her mouth.
Ooh.
I heard Kamala.
Kamala.
What?
Oh, I'm saying it wrong.
Exactly.
I'm saying it wrong.
My point exactly.
I think it's Kamala, but yeah.
I'm like, damn, you can't get Michelle like a Michelle Obama.
All right, VP Harris. VP Harris. I ain't mean put the K in there. VP Harris. Just keep it real like that.
VP Harris.
And if she runs, I'm gonna call her Prez Harris. So
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Fake News or Not Fake News right here on the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. You can check us out every weekday morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. and on demand at beatbreakradiofm.com, simulcasting on thinkingoutloudnetwork.com. Shout out to everybody that have tuned into our very first live stream on YouTube. I told you guys that we're doing a little experimentation right here on the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. And once again, Melinda joining back in with us after we talked about that whole child support thing.
King Petty had to jump back in for that.
Kingpin.
We're gonna call him Kingpin.
Kingpin.
DJ Roland, where can people follow you?
Always follow me at DJ Roland Townsend on Facebook and at DJ Roland on IG and Twitter. And I'm telling you, you need to get a deal because word of mouth is powerful. I mean, I got a gig coming up and whatnot just because I did somebody else and whatnot. So, hey, come and get it. I also do mixes too. So, hey.
You can do all kind of mixes. DJ Roland can do all kind of mixes. You can do hip hop, R&B, soul, gospel. Maybe throw in a little heavy metal in there, country, gospel.
Gotta work on the country though.
Gotta work on country.
Heavy metal, yeah, but country, I gotta work on that one.
All right. What's your email address, DJ Roland, for people that want to inquire?
DJ Roland 27 at gmail.com. That's how you get to me. DJ Roland 27 at gmail.com.
All right. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, mentalmassagewellness.com is the website. We're going to have that posted momentarily on our website, beatbreakradiofm.com. Really appreciate Melinda Woods and Shanta Hayes for joining with us right here on the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. DJ Roland is getting ready for the caffeine and energy drink mix, a very special mix version of Versus. We were talking about Versus moments ago, and some of your favorite artists that you have already seen on Versus will be played during the caffeine and energy drink mix.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. You got all that and more coming up right here on the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. Make sure you follow me, Sean Garvey, Facebook, Sean Garvey ATL, Twitter, Instagram. And I'm back on Tumblr, ladies and gentlemen. I know some of you all don't mess with Tumblr, but I'm back on there. Maybe like once a month or so, but you can still follow me there. This is the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. Wake your ass up.
It's the Beat Break Morning Show with Sean Garvey and the crew.